Welcome to Never Vegan. I'm Josh. I play guitar loud and I eat meat. Today we discuss my journey to carnivore. So I'm 48 years old and my family is very slim. We have a naturally high metabolism. Everybody is pretty slim in my family. And I was raised on the typical SAD diet, standard American diet. And if not for my fast metabolism and my genetics, I should be a huge 300-pound dude. Very, very flabby. I should be very fat. Luckily, I avoided that fate, and almost sadly, I could eat anything I wanted until I was about 38, so about 10 years ago. I started creeping up in pants sizes. I noticed I was a 30 waist forever. Then it was 32 a couple years later, then a 34, and I was about to go up to a 36. I remember for work, I was going to have to buy some new slacks, and they were going to have to be 36 waist, and I'm 5'8", so a 36 waist was not great, especially being a 30 forever. And that's kind of when that was my line in the sand. I put my foot down. I said, all right, enough of this shit. I got to figure something out. And back in 2011, I had never heard of carnivore, hadn't heard of keto, didn't really know anything about nutrition. I had eaten anything I wanted. And I mean, honestly, my diet was hamburger, fast food, hamburgers, pizza, pot full, unleaded Coke, I mean, fully leaded Coke, everything just horrible, full of sugar, full of carbs, fully processed. So, an example, like, who remembers the part of a balanced breakfast commercials back I grew up in the 70s and 80s. You look at that picture, you pull up, go Google this right now, Google part of a balanced breakfast. You'll see OJ, cereal with 2% milk, toast, fruit. I mean, there's nothing good in that breakfast. There's no protein, there's no nutrients, no fat and good animal fats, nothing good in that breakfast. The only thing good in the breakfast would be the butter on the toast. That's it. And maybe if you used whole milk in the cereal. So that's what I was eating my entire youth until I was about 38. And finally it started to catch up with me, so I had to do something. So I thought, I didn't know it at the time, but I was super addicted to carbs. And I thought, I don't want to change my diet. I love eating this way. I know I'll exercise, and that's how I'll lose weight. So I bought an elliptical and did it religiously. I never really exercised much. I was very active, but had never really truly exercised, and especially not done any cardio. Cardio seemed like a horrible idea to me. But I forced myself to do it, did it every day religiously for usually a half hour. And I was sweating, huge. It was a pretty aggressive workout. Did that for, 2-3 months. Did not lose a pound. I mean, nothing changed. And I don't know how, but I just started doing some research and stumbled upon the book Good Calories, Bad Calories by Gary Taubes. And that was when the light bulb went off that not every calorie is the same. You also have to consider the quality of the food and what types of calories you're putting in your body. And basically in that book, he's very scientific, goes into great depth, but the main point of the book is that sugar and carbohydrates in almost any form are the cause of why you gain weight and have deteriorating health, heart health, everything else. So I said, I'm just going to try this. And I'd heard of Atkins, which is, eating bacon and eggs for breakfast, and just eating meat, that kind of stuff. And I thought, I'll just cut out the carbs. He says, stop the soda, stop pizza, bread, pasta, grains, sugars in any form. I did that, and I literally started losing a pound a day. It was crazy. So I thought, I probably needed to lose maybe 20-25 pounds. Like I said, I was never huge. I was just starting to get a gut and needed to correct that. Started losing a pound a day, so I kept it up for a month and lost like 25 pounds to the point where people at work were coming up to me and asking me if I was sick because I had been dropping weight so quickly. I guess, if you're going to lose weight, that's I guess a good thing, right? Because people are so amazed at the speed with which it's happening that it seems like you must be sick. So at that point, that was about 2011. I determined that carbs and sugar were completely that's my lever for weight loss. Now, this is all vanity related, right? I just didn't want to go up another pant size. I didn't want to have a gut. That's all I was concerned with. But side effect was I also felt way better. I felt fully nutrified, whatever the word is there. I always felt like I was eating nutritious food. And just by eliminating the carbs and sugars and grains and carbs in any form, you naturally just guide yourself towards a carnivore kind of diet. But I was closer to probably keto because, at that point I still thought vegetables and everything was healthy for you. So I would force myself to have some of those leafy vegetables in addition to the meat and whatever else I was eating. And, and that eventually, then keto kind of started to become popular. So I was kind of there. So that was really just about increasing the fat ratio compared to the protein. So I did that. Felt good on that. And, I probably could have stopped there, honestly, because I was dropping weight kind of whenever I wanted. But honestly, I don't love vegetables. So when I was having a steak and asparagus or something, for me, I was eating the asparagus out of obligation. I didn't crave them. I didn't like that. So I thought, well, I'm only doing this out of obligation because I think it's a healthy part of keto. And I probably could have went along like that. I didn't have adverse reactions to asparagus and things other than, making your pee smell. And I guess there was a little bloating and things and from the fiber. But I probably could have survived on keto for a long time, but I was forcing myself to eat the vegetables out of obligation, like I said. So then I heard Sean Baker on Joe Rogan, and I heard Michaela and Jordan Peterson on Joe Rogan. And Michaela's story, obviously, for those that have heard it, is ridiculous how sensitive she is to anything but meat. And I don't have anywhere near to that type of extreme reaction. But that was the first time I heard of a carnivore diet. And even after all that I had experienced on keto and predominantly wanting to only eat meat, I still thought that sounded extreme and crazy. And you're just raised with this paradigm, the food pyramid, the recommended daily allowances is just so fucked up. It's so on its head. It's the exact opposite of what you should be eating to maintain a healthy lifestyle. But I was raised that way, so it took 40 years of being programmed by the nutrition experts in the 70s and 80s to eat low fat, and that's what I thought. I remember Snackwell's cookies. They basically took all the fat out of cookies and replaced it with a bunch of sugar, and they claimed those were a healthy alternative to regular cookies. I mean, what a bunch of bullshit, right? Just carbs in different forms and took away anything good, which was the fat, so I finally, I kind of saw the light. I was red pilled and realized that meat is the best thing for you. Animal products are the best thing for you. And even though still it sounded extreme, carnivore sounded extreme, I said, well, I'm just going to try this. So I just started eating burger patties, steaks, butter, things like that. And I've always had this last probably 10 pounds that I need to lose. And I'm about a month in right now, and I'd say I'm 80% of the way there. So we'll see, if I lean out as much as I want. And for me, I basically just want to lose fat and retain muscle mass, retain lean muscle. And for me, what I found works for me is, number one, the 3 pillars, I call it, in my particular situation, are completely eliminating carbs, and then OMAD, so 1 meal a day, and so that is a way of intermittent fasting. For me, I just eat supper, and there's a couple of reasons for this, because if I don't awaken the beast by eating early, I resist the urge to snack. I just say I'm just going to hold off till supper. That works best for me. Then I can eat. I'm full till bedtime. And the 3rd pillar is some type of daily exercise. I'm super busy. I have 3 kids, family, lots of different business ventures going on, so I don't have a lot of time to go to a gym or participate in CrossFit or anything like that. So I literally just do push-ups at home. That's it, before I get in the shower every morning. So some type of exercise. And I'm no perfect physical specimen by any means, but I feel like my lean muscle mass is growing. Fat is leaving my body, and that's what I want, is the recomposition. So I don't know how much my weight will continue to drop. It's really more about dropping the body fat percentage. That's really what I'm shooting for. So my weight may stay the same, but I'm recomposing my body and changing the amount of fat to lean muscle. So 3 pillars for me: no carbs, 1 meal a day, and some type of daily exercise. So that's kind of my journey, how I got to carnivore, and more to come. Thanks for your attention. And to help resist the cult of vegan oppression, please visit patreon.com/nevervegan.